the Russians have not captured the big cities like Cherniv and Kharkov up on the side, up in the northeast of the country, quite close to some of their borders. But they have made better progress than their other forces, still behind schedule in the south. So they're not on schedule. They are in some significant areas of disarray. Their logistics lines are therefore slowed down, and that's because they've based all of this on this sort of bizarre assumption that the Ukrainians would welcome them as liberators. Well, President Putin has taken that assumption, and now that is not the case. That's causing them to pause. It's causing them to have logistical trouble. And of course, you've seen at first hand the strong bravery of the Ukrainians and their determination to defend their country. In Ukraine, they recognize that individuals matter, their rights matter. And the Ukrainians' view of Russians are they don't count in the Russian game. It's simply just the powerful people in Russia that matter. This is the overwhelming scale of the Russian Federation army up against Ukraine. They are taking significant casualties, and they are feeling public rejection in parts of the Russian system itself. We've seen many protests. But the Russian handbook is to then get more violent and commit more forces, because fundamentally in the Russian sort of doctrine, the lives of their own soldiers matter much less than in other armed forces. So we have to brace ourselves for what may come next, which could be ruthless, indiscriminate bombing of cities and the propelling forward of soldiers and high casualty levels. And that's going to be horrific, which again is why it's so important that Putin does see that the international community, the EU, NATO has been incredibly strong, condemn what he's doing. Even China and India have abstained at the UN on this issue, and he cannot miss the fact that his only best friend at the moment seems to be the president of Belarus, which, I always take the view, by your friends you shall be judged. And if that's your best friend, he must realise that he is definitely on the wrong side of history here. Well, I think, Belarus has a lot more to lose by being closer to Russia than it has to gain. It is a very poor country anyhow. The president pretty much ran off, scuttled really, to Kremlin when he had his rising recently, and has sold his soul for that reason. And now you have a vassal state potentially on the border. It won't help the Belarusians. It won't help the Belarusian armed forces. They're far less equipped than the Russians. They are not as good. They're not as well trained. And, if I was a Belarusian soldier, you should think that President Putin will be the first to put you in the front line because you are absolutely easy to sacrifice compared to Russian soldiers that he will think might have a political impact on him at home.